Welcome to Reiki in the Forest. We have one of the rare sunny days in Vancouver today. So for those of you who would like to experience the Reiki healing, you just need to be open to receive. Reiki is a healing energy. It helps balance mind, body, and soul. It helps remove any stagnant energy, any blockages we may have. And we're going to be playing a lot with the energy of Mother Earth today, since we're with all of the trees in this beautiful green space. Hello, darling. The intention of the Reiki is always that it helps you in your highest good. So I've created a beautiful little Reiki bubble so that the animals that are around me and the trees and the vegetation that's around me can also experience the Reiki if they want it. The trees certainly appreciate it. The animals can be a little bit touch and go, though. Animals can be touch and go. Sometimes they really like it, and sometimes they they want to do their own thing. Hi, Debbie. How are you? So for those of you who have never experienced Reiki before, it is an energy that is channeled from Source, Creator, God Consciousness, Love Consciousness energy. Tired? Yeah, I understand. Same. And it comes in to help balance our own energy field. It's always channeled in the highest love, and the highest kindness. So today's just going to be a pretty chill. The energy feels just very calm, very calm. It's very grounded. I think we're just going to be doing a lot of grounding today. Oh, thank you, Dawn. Korotosha yarata makaratia saura to moratia nyarata saura to kunkurutushtu yarata moratia sata korata taira moratia. Hope everyone's Tuesday has been well. I find myself in beautiful Vancouver. Oh, thank you for the follow, Maria. Maria or Mariah? It's probably Mariah. I'm generally on much later in the evening than this. And I thought it would be nice to kind of come on when there's sun shining. You can see me in a different place, different landscape background. Tiki irata komo kuruto so irato mora tiana korashati irata mata iratikiata orasano tiana matiarashtia. Ekaratina harashati irata inami kirata sirata mato soto irasoto so irata mora tomo tiana makuri. Love to know where everyone's at in the world. I'm always curious to know where everyone is from. So if you're in here, let me know. Looks like there's 10 of us in here right now. 12. Iraq, wow. Welcome. I think you're the first Iraqi that I've seen in my lives. Must be quite late for you over there. Hi, Ohio. North Carolina. West Virginia, lots of USA people. Santa Ana. I'm in Canada on the west coast. Beautiful Pacific rainforest. That's where we are right now, in beautiful forest. Hey Rami, how are you? I haven't been to California since I was very young. I think I was 10 when I went to California. I always find something very calming about the birds. There's something about birds chirping that is just one of the most soothing sounds for me. Oftentimes when you see my lives at home, late at night, I'll often have music, forest sounds music. It always has to have birds chirping in the background. It's funny how many times people ask me if I'm actually outside in the forest during those lives. Today I'm actually in a forest, as you can see. Amidst the trees. Trees can teach us a lot. It's really beautiful how many synonymous aspects there are between, you know, different elements of nature and ourselves. If you think about root systems, and you look at kind of the root systems of trees and how they kind of mimic the cardiovascular system in our body, how there's branches that reach out just like the branches in our lungs. It's very interesting. I find it so beautiful because technically the air that we breathe is because of the air or the carbon dioxide that's released by the trees, by the plants, and vice versa. They use, or no, they release the oxygen, sorry. We release the CO2. But I just love that symbiotic relationship, you know, where us breathing allows the trees to breathe and vice versa. You like seeing Miss Barbara on my evening lives? For those of you who don't know Barbara, Barbara is my cat, my very, very needy, very diva cat. She's funny. Barbara's in a cone right now. Barbara had to go to the vet today. So Barbara's not a happy cat. Not today. Shout out to Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, her name is Barbara Gordon. Hey Courtney, how you doing, darling? Yeah, she didn't get to have her breakfast this morning and she was very sad. She's a very food motivated cat. She's very brazen as well. And she doesn't care if you're in the room, she'll still go on the counter and steal your turkey breast right off the grill. So, I'm doing well, thank you, Courtney. Just chilling like a villain. Oh, Babs. Yeah. It took me a while to get over that one. That was a lot of... She ate like an $18 turkey breast, and I was very upset. I was very, very upset. Was not impressed by the kitty cat. Well, I'd hoped that the sun would stay in this corner for a little bit longer. I might actually... I like this tree, though. I might mosey over to another tree that has more sun. Yeah, it's a beautiful cedar. Very tall. This is where I am. That's probably where I'll go. I want to go in the sun. We're gonna go and mosey over to the sun. Oh, hi, Jonathan. Ooh. Ooh. That's nice. Nice picture. Have a beautiful time tutoring, Courtney. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. I love the sun. I love the sun. Hi. Yeah, it's been such beautiful weather recently. All of us here in BC are very lucky. It's been glorious. We kind of skipped spring and went straight into summer for a couple of days. Send the sun there. Where are you? Hello, how are you? You're so welcome, Beth. No problem. Illinois. Latoira talam kura to shutoira na mara tia sataira takamara ta siara ta shataira na kurukia na sia takashataira na tira na pasia ta kurata na Euro to moro tinira samara tia takashira na makarato sono kona na tira sa tuya Ura tunira saura ta ia kamora ta stuira na kunkusu ta kona tira Floridinas. Ugh. I'm doing well, thank you. Cleaning is a good idea. I should clean my room. Atoira tokoira no korasa tiana nasta aira no korasi sura tamateira takana kurutosh toira no kurutu saira tikiya testeira no kiasate Erona kona tira shia tanya na kira satia kurutana tira somati na Am I at the beach? No. Hey, Craig. I'm in the forest. Kaya na kaya tia sayara takamakara tai agero to konkrete suri to muyaras at yasto na korosuta anotati at satu at airosuma. Ora tia muata era to kosuri to mirosuri takamakara satia morosha tamikiamas. Hey, how's it going, David? So for those of you just joining, welcome. This is Reiki in the Forest. You're just chilling, feeling some good sunny vibes, taking some time with the trees and with the birds. Hi there. Taking some time to ground ourselves, just letting ourselves flow. Ayana kara iara tomo kare tiara sona iara taka iara shara to yana mo kore tia sur tana mo korona to yana mo kore tia. Feeling some of us in here might be dealing with some throat stuff all of a sudden. For those of you just joining, hi Melissa, how are you, beautiful? Ira to como koroto si, tomo koroto I, ira tamo kona tira sa, koroto shota yara te I, koroto siya, kam koroto hiyo om. Uro suira tamata ira sarma korashati ira tiniti ira sa ira tu puro su dayana mo korasana wara tia sukashe tiene kira sa ira tiniti. Definitely the throat chakra. Nice. I'm doing well. I'm just surfing through life. Yeah, the sunshine is beautiful. I love it. I love the sun. We just led a beautiful grief healing on Sunday. For those of you who don't know, Debbie, Juliana, and myself were 3 healers who run a beautiful program called Declare Mind, Body, Soul. And we had a free grief healing event that we led on Sunday, free to everyone. And it was such a beautiful event. We do it once a year. And it's amazing just how diverse the energy is. So it was very, very special. And it's a little pepper. Yeah, it was very cool. Very, very cool. I am in Canada. I am on the West Coast. It's funny though, the second that the sun goes down, my hands get very cold. So cool kind of looking at the aura of the trees as well. Everything has so much energy to it, you know. It's pretty special. Yeah. Yeah, there's a full moon coming up in Libra on the weekend. On the 25th. There's sometimes an owl that comes and visits in this forest. There's only one. I haven't seen him for a while. Beautiful, I think it's a barred owl. Today the first day of spring, tomorrow is the first day of spring. Hi Nala, how are you, beautiful? Yeah, spring is in the air. The rebirth, right? Spring is all about the rebirth after the silent winter. Where the sun comes back up, the days get longer. We nourish our seeds. We forge our friendships. Doing well. Spring is such an uplifting and optimistic time, while still being very earthy. I love the spring. Just get to see everyone wake up, you know? Yeah. I saw a blue jay today. That was kind of special. There's this tree in front of, there's so many nests in these trees too. There's this tree in front of me. It got ravaged by the pine beetle, unfortunately. There's these like caterpillars or these silkworms. I don't know what kind of bug it was, but we had a few years of like a really bad worm problem, silkworm problem, and it just ravaged the trees. But there's a lot of these trees that have so many nests in them. One thing about, you know, there's a lot of trees in this forest actually, and it's just beautiful how many instances of trees kind of growing out of trees that have fallen and, you know, are kind of going back into the earth. And you'll like see these logs, and then you'll see this new tree that's literally, the roots are like curled around this log, and it's just growing this new tree out of the old tree. It's super cool. And just like continuing the cycle. I love bird song. Yeah, me too. I'm getting a little bit cold. Boop. I wonder if I can show you an example. You're too far away. Pardon me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This friendship necklace thing is kind of cute. Thank you so much. So, another thing that that we've been doing in CMBS, at the beginning of the year, we have these monthly talks where we go on our private Facebook group, and we have an hour-long talk with all three of us about a certain topic. And the one to kick off the year in January, we actually looked at the energy forecast for the entire year, month by month. And it's so interesting how aligned it's been so far. So the energy for this month, which is the month of March, was kind of connecting to our dreams. Connecting to our dreams, connecting to that magic, right? Connecting to the universe. How do we do that? What is involved? What does that even mean? What does it mean to connect to the universe? What does it mean to connect to your dreams, to your ultimate path? And then in April, it's all going to be about acceptance, right? So when we bring in the dreams and kind of think about what it is that we want, we feel what it feels like to be where it is that we want to be. Letting go of expectations, though, right? Letting go of the how or the why or the when. And then you just go into acceptance and you allow things to kind of develop as they develop. You set the intention, set it and forget it, right? That's the motto. You set your intention, you feel your intention, you connect with your intention, you believe in your intention. You bring gratitude to your intention. And then you just trust. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything, right? Remember, it doesn't mean that you just sit around waiting and hoping that everything will kind of knock on your door. It's not necessarily like that. You still have to make choices. You still have to go out in your life, but it's to go out in your life following your inspiration. All right, I think that's the key. So long as you're following your inspiration, you're following the things that come for you, that spark joy. Ultimately, you're going to be guided towards a path that is aligned with you. So you're not going to be going out there looking for the things that you've been dreaming about. You allow them to come to you, but you allow them to come to you as you're walking down your path. Because the thing is the universe brings us things in very subtle ways. And so if you focus too strongly on all of the details of the when, the how, the where, if you're constantly searching, you're not allowing yourself to see the minute details in the periphery. Because sometimes there's going to be something that catches your eye that you didn't expect to be where it would be. If you're always looking straight in front of you or on the ground or in a certain place, you might not always catch the little subtle signs that the universe is giving you. So be open. It's a matter of being open, a matter of being willing to go on an adventure. That's what life is, right? And that's all it is. It's an adventure. It's an adventure of discovering yourself, an adventure of discovering the world around you. That's why healing your inner child is so important, right? At the end of the day, we are just children navigating this world with more information that we had than when we were born. We just kind of travel along, picking up little tidbits here and there, growing, learning, But we're still children. We're still ultimately kind of these little specks with so much around us to discover, right? And keeping that magic, keeping that openness to magic is really the key. You know? Life doesn't have to be serious. Growing up doesn't have to be serious, right? Like, I think that's a big misnomer. We fall into these patterns of trying to navigate a structure that wasn't made for us. These rules that are kind of arbitrary. And we tend to forget, you know, who we are at our core. Because at our core, we're just these little kids. We like to have fun, we like to play, we like to create. You know, whatever that means for you. You get to define that for yourself. You know, the whole conversation of I can't do that because I'm too old, like, get that out of your vocabulary. It's not serving you. You can do whatever you want. Define that the way that you want to. You know? Yeah, of course, no one's saying it's easy. No one's saying that healing is easy and finding acceptance is easy. But if it was easy, it would be kind of boring, wouldn't it? This life would be so boring if everything was just like handed to you and you didn't have to do any of the work. If you didn't have to like put the puzzle pieces together and, you know, where's the challenge in that? You know, where's the fun in that? Why do people find competitive sports so much fun? They don't find it fun necessarily because, you know, everything comes easy to them. They find it fun because it requires them to try. It requires them to coordinate and solve puzzles and put in an effort and have like a competitor. The games where you're playing against a team, I play a lot of soccer, so I'm going to bring that as an analogy. Those games where you're playing against a team that is a lot less skilled than your team is are not as fun as the games where you're playing against someone who's matched equally with you. Because you don't really have to try very hard. Like, everything comes really easy and it's like, okay, and you don't get as much of a sense of value from that, right? What's fun, what's really like validating and satisfying is when you have a bit of a challenge and you're able to overcome that challenge together. And it's the same thing with a lot of things in life. In the moment, it might really suck, right? There's some things that happen that really freaking suck. And we don't realize until afterwards, after we've navigated through it, after we've learned the lessons from it, how grateful we are in subtle ways for that experience because of the person it creates, because of who we become in spite of it. And that's not to say that I'm condoning anything that's toxic that happens to people. Absolutely not, right? There's a lot of really debilitating stuff that happens that people have to go through. But ultimately, kind of on the grander scheme of things, if everything was handed to you on a platter, you wouldn't really understand the value of it. Same thing with joy and happiness and all of these emotions. You wouldn't really understand what the emotion of joy was if you didn't experience sorrow and grief and you know, all of these other kind of heavier emotions that we experience. I haven't watched the Barbie movie yet. I have yet to watch the Barbie movie, but I really, really would love to. Yeah. It's funny, Nala, because, you know, I've had my moments where I was like, you know, you kind of like go in the cycle of like, why me? And you feel sorry for yourself. And there was this one day I was in one of Jules's lives, and she was doing channeling or readings or something like that. And she did one for me. And I was like, why is, you know, because I've had a lot of really, really challenging experiences. I've had a really challenging upbringing from a very young age. And there are moments where it's like, I wish that, you know, I had an easier life, you know, where I wish that my parents were still together and that I experienced a childhood like other people have experienced. And, you know, that I didn't have the types of challenges and struggles that I had growing up as a teenager with my health and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, she was talking about how we choose this life, how we choose the life that we come in. And she's like, yeah, I mean, like, you chose this life. I'm like, why would I ever choose a life like this? And she's like, Salmi, because you get so bored. She's like, your guys are like, the reason you did this is because you'd be bored if you didn't have all this to deal with. And I was like, I mean, you're probably not wrong, but also I hate that answer. So, also, even though I'm a Reiki practitioner and even though I do animal Reiki, I do not tolerate mosquitoes. So I'm sorry if that makes me a hypocrite, but yeah. It's really hard to accept, right? And ultimately, here's the thing, right? This is things I have to be really careful, and I try to catch myself on this a lot. Ultimately, we don't know. We don't know. A lot of people speak as if they know what it is that is going on. And, you know, ultimately, follow what resonates with you. You know, not everyone is going to have the same perspective on what happens after death and what happens before, you know, before life happens. That whole cycle. There's a lot of like similar theories. There's a lot of similar kind of corroborated experiences or like channeled knowledge. But ultimately, like, do remember that, you know, we don't actually know, and we're not meant to know. We're not necessarily meant to know everything, right? That's not why we're here. We're not here to know what happens after you pass away, and we're not here to know what happens before you kind of incarnate, if you even believe in reincarnation. I believe in reincarnation. I've had a lot of wacky experiences that make me believe in reincarnation and makes me believe in soul contracts and divine connections and, you know, soulmates and all of that kind of stuff. I believe in that because I've had experiences that would validate those beliefs. But ultimately, that's just my truth, and you don't have to necessarily align with the truth that I speak forth, right? I'm just another person on this app that is sharing my perspective and my experience. And, you know, you are empowered to put together what feels true for you. You know, don't always, you know, don't try not to take what somebody says at, you know, completely at face value just because they have a large platform. I think a lot of baby spiritualists kind of fall into that, where they see this person that has like so many different followers and they speak with a certain authority, and it's really easy to get caught up in just believing what it is that they say because that they're there. And it's really important for you to check in with yourself and see, well, does this align with me? Is this something that I truly feel? Be curious. Always be curious. Always be curious. We are curious beings. The soul knows more Spirit knows more. There are moments where you can connect with your spirit in a very pure and like profound way. There's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that you can gain from those moments too. And there's so much knowledge and wisdom that you kind of don't even realize that you possess, that you just speak forth. And it's like, where did that come from? It's like, I don't know. Just like somewhere around there. But, you know, ultimately, when it comes to soul contracts and all of that kind of stuff, there's a balance between understanding, you know, the aspect of choice, understanding the aspect of choice, and the importance of certain lessons that we experience, and the karmic cycle, and the balance of light and dark. Do we keep our memories when we die? I don't know. I haven't died yet. Well, I haven't died in this lifetime. See, those are questions that I'm not, that I think that's like, that explicates my point really beautifully, right? These questions, people are seeking answers to these questions. I can give you my opinion. I can give you my opinion of what happens, but I couldn't give you an answer that is based on fact. Because ultimately, I don't know. Have I experienced past life regressions? I've had snapshots of past lives that I've been able to, through some Reiki healings that I've done, and kind of experiences that I've had with other people. Like I've had past life regressions where I had literally the same vision as somebody else and the same experiences that we were having without having any communication with them. I have this really interesting story. So when I was starting off as a little Reiki baby, when I started off offering Reiki to people, I was going on talk and I was offering free Reiki. And, you know, it was to get some engagement with my videos. And basically I posted a video saying, you know, whoever it is that comments on my video, I'll offer them a free 20-minute Reiki. To see what the value of my energy was, to really understand, you know, the value of my craft, so that I felt less awkward charging people for my Reiki. Because a lot of us starting have like money blockages where we don't feel worthy of our craft. We don't feel worthy of being paid for our craft. So anyways, this was a mission that Jules put me on, and there was this beautiful woman who is now a very good friend of mine. And I'd seen her on TikTok, and she's just so powerful. So I was like a little bit intimidated, because I was like, wow, like this woman is so cool. And I did a Reiki session on her. And there was a moment where I was holding her hands energetically, because I was doing the Reiki by distance, and our palm chakras were kind of touching. And I take a moment where I kind of hold my client's hands in my hands. And there's this beautiful exchange of energy through our hands. Our hands are very powerful. And immediately I got just taken back to this scene in the forest, and there were these two sisters that were face to face. It was probably hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. We were not fully human. We were elemental in a certain way. And I saw this girl in front of me, or this young woman in front of me, and I was holding her hands. We were wearing a white dress. We had long hair. And there was just this divine, like, deep connection, this deep exchange between the both of us. And then I continued on with her healing. And then afterwards, we were doing a recap. And I was telling her the things that I had noticed when I was doing the healing, and different things that I kind of picked up on. And at one point she's like, I had the weirdest vision of these two women in the forest in white. They were wearing these white dresses. They had really long, dark hair. And they were holding each other's hands like face to face in the middle of the forest. She's like, I think you were a sister of mine in my past life. I'm like, that's crazy, because I saw exactly the same thing when I was doing the healing on you. I never had communicated any of that with her prior to her mentioning that to me in the post-session conversation. Oh, thanks, Swanky. Oh, that's crazy, AB. Lightwise with Laura. Yeah, and so that's why I believe in past lives. I believe in these connections. I've experienced flashes of past lives as in the Viking era. I was in a Viking village, and I've experienced different kind of flashbacks to that period. I've seen a past life as a First Nations kind of. I was kind of one of the elders. I was kind of like a healer. I was the healer in this First Nations village. I have had another flashback as a young, I think it was Iroquois boy, First Nations, again, or Aboriginal. I was a warrior child, and I died in war. There's a few that I remember. And so, to answer the question, or kind of to give my experience with the question, do we keep our memories? Our soul is what holds memory, in my opinion. Our soul, or our spirit. It kind of accumulates these experiences. And we may not remember all of the fine details necessarily, but we definitely do carry the imprint of all of those experiences that we've had through every lifetime that we have. And that's why you'll connect with some people and they seem like very, very old souls. They seem to have like an energy and a wisdom about them that doesn't necessarily, that kind of betrays like their physical age here, right? There's something about them that seems deeper and older than what their physical age would be able to allow. So, you know, I truly believe that, yeah, we definitely do keep memory in kind of on the soul energy level. Ultimately, everything is energy, right? Where that energy goes is to be determined. So, everything's energy. That's what got me curious about energy work in the first place, is after my dad passed away, because I thought, well, what is, you know, all of that life, all of that magic that animates someone, like, where does that go when the body dies? When the body stops being vibrant, when it passes on, all of that magic, all of that energy that makes someone animate, where does that go? It can't just disappear. That's not possible. It doesn't just, you know, energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed either. It can only be transferred. So where does it go? Where does that energy go? Hi. And that's why it made it a lot easier for me to believe in energy healing. Because if somebody's soul or somebody's, you know, body energy is able to kind of like transfer out of the body and go somewhere else, why wouldn't I be able to send energy in a way that would affect somebody else? I don't like mosquitoes. Right? I think it would be very kind of, I don't know, reductive to believe that it's not at all possible. So, I'm getting cold. There's a mosquito that's been circulating around me, and I don't want to kill you, but I really don't want you to touch me. But if you keep on coming near me, I'm sorry. Hi. My hands are getting cold. I'm alright. I'm dealing with mosquitoes. Man, I don't know what kind of comments TikTok is filtering, but TikTok keeps on filtering so many comments, and it's kind of crazy. So if I don't answer your comment, I apologize. It's because I didn't see it. I'm pretty good usually at like replying to people's comments, honestly. I think I'm gonna ground the energy though, because my hands are really cold. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, what did I do? TikTok has this weird thing where you have to do like one of those like I am not a robot things now too. It's very weird. But thank you everyone for joining me on this live. I think I'm going to start moseying my way home because it's getting chilly out here. But for those of you who would ever like to book a personal session, I do offer Reiki healing by distance. So there's a link in my link tree if you'd ever like to book a session with me. And for those of you who are interested in a Clear Mind Body Soul, which is our beautiful self-care, spiritual self-care membership, there's also a link in my link tree to join in that. It's $44 a month, but you have access to 4 beautiful events that we offer every month. I've been doing a chakra healing series, which is a guided meditation with Reiki healing and light language healing that is centered around healing the individual chakras and balancing them. So we're going to be working on the third eye chakra in April. I think that Jules is going to be doing a event about kind of connecting to your consciousness at the end of March on the 31st, which is going to be super special. We have a private Facebook group and everything that you can join, where you can ask questions and just engage with everyone and just to help you on your healing journey. But otherwise, if you'd like to catch my live replays, I do post them to YouTube. So if you miss one of my lives on TikTok, or if you're just looking for a Reiki pick-me-up, the energy is always present and always valid, even if it's after the live has ended. So you can always watch one of my replays on YouTube. It's just Reiki with Salome as the channel. You're welcome to subscribe to that if you'd like, or just watch the videos that are on there. And otherwise, I just hope you have a beautiful day, or evening, or wherever it is that you are in the world. So, love you all, sending you big hugs, and I will see you in the next live. Bye!